Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I want to talk about a farm. Now this is not a tutorial, I just want to mess with XP because I've been currently playing an off-camera survival world and XP is a big problem early game. Now inside of Minecraft 1.21 they added some new potions and them potions can be used to create new kinds of farms, which I have right behind me. Now this farm behind me is an XP farm, I'll show you a bit how it works in a second. But first of all, the person who created the farm is Sir James Ender. I will have their channel linked in the description, but the person whose tutorial I followed to build this is Voltrox, which I once again will have their channel linked in the description as well. Before we jump to some things, let's quickly cover how the farm works. So there is a box that has allays on a campfire. Now, if you didn't know, allays inside of the game will heal passively. They'll heal, I think it's about half a heart every few seconds, meaning that they can out-heal a campfire damage. We then have a dispenser, which if I quickly just check, the dispenser has the infestation potion, which gives a mob the infested effect. And when they have that effect, they have a 10% chance to spawn silverfish when damaged. And then all we have to do is click this button, which I don't want to do just yet. And because the allays are continuously taking damage, there is a chance silverfish could pop out into the water, which then go down here and we can kill them for the XP. Now, each potion lasts for 3 minutes. And in that 3 minutes, I went from 0 levels to 43 levels. Now, obviously, the higher levels you go up, the less you'll get because it requires more XP. But from one potion, you can go from about 0 to 40 levels, and it all depends on the randomness. You could get more, you could get less. Now, with the allays, it is recommended that you get about 16 allays in there. But you can have more because obviously inside of the game, entity cramming takes place about 24 mobs. I don't think allays would be able to out-heal the entity cram, so I think the most you could have is probably about 20 to 24. And I think the more you have, the better, because the more chances of that 10% chance to spawn the silverfish then being pulled. So let me quickly show you it in action. So if I press this button, you can see that infestation has now been applied to the allays, and silverfish are just being sprung out all over the place. We then go right here, and all we need to do is hit the armor stand. Because I'm in creative mode, it did break the armor stand. But if I go in survival mode, you can see I can hit the armor stand and the armor stand is breaking, but the mobs inside of there are dying and the XP is then going into my XP bar. Now on my sword, the best enchantments to have is Bane of Arthropods and Sweeping Edge. Sweeping Edge because then you can hit more than one mob and it does more damage. And Bane of Arthropods because silverfish are classed under that category. And this is basically how the farm works. All you need to do is stand here hitting for 3 minutes until the effect has run out. You'll know when the effect has run out because silverfish will stop spawning. Now the effect won't last for exactly 3 minutes, but the simple fact is that it can collide with our hitboxes, meaning the effect could last for 2 minutes or even shorter, but it's roughly around 3 minutes. Now although this is not like a really efficient XP farm late game, it's pretty simple to build early game. Now the reason it's pretty simple to build early game is all it requires is some building blocks. It don't need to be copper. I just use copper because that was expanded upon in 121. It then uses some glass, a armor stand, a fence gate, a bucket of water, a campfire, a dispenser, some hoppers, a chest, a button. And the hardest thing to probably obtain here is the infestation potions, which we can see right here. Now, you don't need all of these, I've just filled it up completely. And allays are a little bit difficult to get, but you could just duplicate them. You can get one and then duplicate them with amethyst shards. So if I now go back to killing these, just so we get rid of them all, you can see we're already on 48 levels and I haven't been actively killing them here, so some of them would have probably died to entity cram. So the silverfish have now stopped spawning, and I'm just going to wait a few seconds just to make sure none spawn, because it could just be that the chance hasn't been pulled. And no more are spawning. So we can now pick up all of the XP here. So we can see what level we go to. And then I want to quickly just see how many silverfish do we get when the silverfish drop down here. I have run the game rule max entity cram and I've changed it to 1000 just because I don't think we'll get more than 1000. If we do, then that's something. I basically want to see how many silverfish you get per potion. And we did get from 40 something to 52, which isn't that bad. So we're now going to do this again. Let's click that button. Or first, let's see how many entities are loaded. We can do that by opening F3. And there is currently one entity loaded if I look down here. And you can see if I look up here, there is 15. If I look down here, there is 1. So all I need to do is just look here and then we'll be able to tell how many silverfish there are. But let's go back up here and press the button. That will now start spawning the silverfish. So no more silverfish seem to be spawning. I am just going to once again give it a few seconds just to make sure that it's not the chance. Okay, yes, there we go. Some are still spawning. So it's just the fact of that chance didn't get pulled. Now, let's just see, is that the end of it? So what happens here is a lot of them lose the effect because of their positioning from the dispenser, and only a few of them have it, so maybe one got it for longer than all the rest. And that one then has a 10% chance, meaning that you don't get them that regularly. That's why I normally wait a few seconds just to make sure they have completely stopped. And by the looks of it, they have, because we should have got at least one by now. So let's look down here and see how many silverfish we have. There is a lot in there. So if I open up F3, there is 681. We're removing one for the armor stand, so there's 680. Now, you could get more than that, you could get less, because once again, it's just a 10% chance. If that 10% chance gets pulled a lot more than it got pulled when I just tested it, you could get more, or it could get pulled less. So what I want to do now is, because all the silverfish are there, I want to quickly just clear my XP levels. So I can do that by going and doing the command XP and then set. And we want to set the levels to 0 and also the points. So now we've done that, let's see how much XP we get from this. So if I hit this, that should kill a lot of them. It's killed them all. And there is a bit of lag because there is now a lot of XP on the floor. So I just need to sit here for a second and wait for my XP to stop going up. And there we go, we got 42 levels, which is enough to get max enchantments quite a few times from an enchantment table. So now I want to do some testing with oozing and weaving. Well, I have been working on this for about 2 hours, just messing with different designs, and this is what I have. It's basically just what we started with, duplicated twice. Second one's different because we have to kill the silverfish for the XP, because we don't want to lose out on the XP exchange for the slime, although you could, but we want both. So the silverfish drop down here, and we stand here killing them, and then the slimes spawn going in once again another water stream, which takes them down here to die on this soul campfire. So let me quickly just show you this working. Now there are still some issues. We do still lose some slime balls, but from the testing I've done, I've only lost at most 10. And it does use a lot of oozing potions. Because it's always running, I haven't made a system turn it on and off, but that can be as simple as a lever. Because we drop down here, we could have a lever right there that we turn on and off when we need to. So for example, when you start this farm, all you need to do is, first of all, go up this ladder to then spit out a infestation potion. Then you need to drop down and turn on this lever to start the clock. And then you need to drop down here to start swinging at the armor stand. Although I do want to place this in the center so I can see the silverfish. And then you just need to sit here swinging. Now there is a rare occurrence where the slimes will spawn in on this block, but it don't happen that often. And one thing that I've noticed, it's best not to go fully AFK when using this farm. You really want to hit the silverfish when the potion gets spat out, because that is the most efficient way. I did also mess with the amount of items, so it spits them out just as the silverfish are about to hit entity cram. But once again, it all depends on the randomness of the spawning of the silverfish. So let's see how much slime we get after this one done. And I killed them a bit too early because the potion hadn't spat out just yet. I've just turned the farm off. Now, one thing I did note when using this, some slimes that spawned on this block, you can just stand up here and hit them. If you stand at this very corner, you will still get the XP and you will still kill everything within that box. So you don't really need to stand down there. As long as you can hit the armor stand, then you should be fine. So let's see how much we got. Now there are still some slimes that are being stubborn and don't want to go down the hole. So inside of the inventory, I got a stack and 45. Now have we lost any? Let's quickly just have a look around, and it doesn't seem like it this time. Are there any within these hoppers? There isn't. And is there any within the dispenser? There also isn't. Now, one thing we could do to fix the slimes getting stuck on them glass blocks, maybe replace them with solid blocks and they might then suffocate or drop down. So we got, what is that? Almost 7 stacks. Now that will get us quite a lot of slime blocks. To brew up 3 oozing potions, it cost 1 block. And that probably took us about 6 potions, I think, maybe 9. And there's probably definitely ways to improve this a lot more. I wanted to have some way to farm slime at the same time without building a big massive chunk farm where you have to dig out a whole chunk or go into a swamp. Also, inside this hopper is currently 16 items. I will maybe provide a world download so you can download this, tweak it, mess with it, build it in your own world if you want to. As it does work, it's just not the most optimized thing in the world. But anyway, if you enjoy, do leave a like and subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!